Okay. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Just confirm that you can hear me so that we can start.
Good
Yes, we
evening,
can
sir.
hear you. Good evening, sir.
We can hear
All
you.
right. All right.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Good evening, everybody. So welcome to pre-scene analysis for November 2025. So this is first class. We just want to do introduction. Let's introduce ourselves to the case. Let's get ourselves familiar with the case. So on Saturday, 15th of November, by 4 p.m., we will now do justice to the case. So without wasting our time, I don't want to stay too long here. Others will be joining us as we move on. So I don't want us to stay too long. I want to do everything sharp. Then I believe you can all see my screen. So you will have gone through the case. And probably maybe you have even gone through the case 3 times, 4 times, and there are some things you don't understand properly. So we are going to analyze everything to you today. So this is the case. Let me walk through the main parts, the instruction, and some things you need to take notes before the exam or even during the exam. So there are some important information that I can normally give on that paper that you may not take note of that. And then this is the time for us to read it because you may not have that time on the exam day to be going through over and over again. So let's start. This material is circulated prior to the examination date. That one is sure. So we normally get pre-sim before the exam day. And then what is the essence? The essence is that to enable you familiarize yourself with the case scenario so that you can undertake any research like what we are doing today. Analysis that you deem fits, like what we are doing today and on Saturday. This preceding part of the case study examination is also published on the Institute website. So they want you to make sure that this is authentic, it's not framed by anybody, so it's coming from the Institute. So you must not bring this material with you to the examination hall. Upon receipt of this material, you are to spend the next few days to the examination date to familiarize yourself with the information provided. That's the essence. Okay, and you are not supposed to bring this particular material to the exam with you. It's not even making sense. You have this thing for almost 1 week with you or 2 weeks, and you are still going with it on the exam day. What they are expecting you to do is that you must have done all your normal analysis, digest every information you have here before that day. That even if they ask you what is Exhibit 1 saying, what is Exhibit 2 saying, you must be able to give them word for word. Okay? Now, carry out any additional research and or analysis about the industry that is necessary. You must know the industry the case scenario is talking about, together with the relevant developments, and analyze the financial provided in preparation for the examination. You should note that the use of preceding parts of the case study will not significantly help you in responding to all the requirements during the exam. So preceding is not enough to pass, but it is part of necessary thing you need to pass the exam. So that is why you need the ability to connect the preseen to unseen. So it is essential that you carry out sufficient analysis on your own, like what you are doing now, so that you can leverage the preseen part of the scenario as appropriate during the exam. At the start of the examination, you will receive the complete scenario which we include both pre-seen and the unseen section, which include the questions to be answered. So it means this thing you are seeing now, there's going to be unseen on that day. And the addition of what we are having now plus unseen will make a complete paper. Nothing will change. Even I will not change from this unseen. I mean, from this pre-seen. They will just carry it, copy it, add the unseen to it, and it becomes a complete question paper. Okay? You must use the answer booklet provided by Ican in the examination, or any solution presented with other papers will not be marked. So take note of that. There's going to be answer booklet on that day for you to use. Assessment of the case study. The marks in the case study examination are awarded for professional skills and are as approximately allocated as follows. So these are the marking schemes that you must make sure you understand and you also follow. Okay? Number one, assimilating and using information provided. How you use the information properly. Two, structuring problems and solutions. Were you able to structure problems? Were you able to identify problems? And then not just identifying the problems, are you giving the solution, recommendation, solution to the problem? Applying judgments, okay? Drawing conclusion and making recommendations. Conclusion and recommendation, very important. Then the next thing, demonstrating integrative and multi-disciplinary skills. That is, whatever you have learned in PM is needed here. Whatever you have learned in SFM is needed here. Whatever you learn in CSM is strategic is needed here. Whatever you have done in taxation is needed here. Whatever you have done in CR, in SBR, they are all needed here. Okay? Then presenting appropriate appendices. That is, all your calculations, you are able to reference the calculation to the report you are writing. Okay? Now, let's continue. They say, of the total marks available, 20% will be assigned to executive summary section of your response, and it means when you are writing your report, executive summary will take 20%. You can imagine if you fail to write executive summary, it means you are totally losing 20 marks out of 100 marks. Then, and approximately 10% will be assigned for your proper consideration of ethical issues. So it means ethical issue, 10 marks. Executive summary, 20 marks. That makes it 30 marks. So if you're unable to identify executive summary in your case, then it means you are losing 10 marks. It's clear. Although ethical issues are not a specific requirement, you will not see it in any requirement that what are the ethical issues? What is ethical issue here? No. Do you understand? As it has been tested in other subjects of the Ican professional exam, it will be tested within a requirement, which may include the following. So it means the ethical issue will be tested in one of the requirements. Then you will now need to sit down, identify this is an ethical issue, this is an ethical issue, and this is what it means. Now, they now gave us the example of ethical issue we should be looking out for. Number one, lack of professional independence or objectivity. What does that mean? When you say lack of independence, lack of professional independence and then objectivity. Now, look at this. And let me give you a scenario. Let's assume that a board member of a company also sits on the board of a competitor. That is, we have two companies, and both companies are competitors. Probably, let's say, Senate Bank and First Bank. So you are a director in Senate. You are also a director in First Bank. There is no how there will not be what we call objectivity in whatever you are doing. Or sorry, let's use this example. That will be the conflict of interest. Let's use this as an example. An external auditor continues to audit a company where he also provides, bookkeeping and payroll services. And this same person is also the auditor of that company. Okay, maybe you are whatever and co. You are the accounting, you are providing accounting service to that particular company. And then you are the auditor of that same company. Now, let's assume that during the accounting, whatever you are doing, you made some errors or mistakes. When you are auditing that particular account, you won't be able to what? To state it out, because there is what? Objectivity. There is professional independence. Okay? So he may be reluctant to report errors or fraud he helps to create, because the one that created the error. So if he complained, they will say, oh God, but now you do all this accounting now. Do you understand? Now let's go to the conflict of interest. Or if you don't want to do that, let's go to the conflict of interest among the stakeholders. That's the example I just used. You are stakeholders in Senate, and you're also a stakeholder in Senate Bank. I mean, First Bank. So you will see that there will be conflict of interest. Or probably you are an accountant in a particular company. Okay, you are an accountant in a particular company. Maybe you have you hold a significant role in that particular company, and then in another company that is competitor, you hold another particular role there. Is it even possible that you'll be giving the
Sorry,
secret
good
of this
evening,
company?
sir. Sorry,
You'll
good
be
evening,
giving
sir.
just keep all your questions to the end, please.
Sir, can you please be more audible? I can barely hear you, sir. I'm straining my ear to hear you. Sorry for that.
That should be your. Can any other person have the same issue? Is anybody having the same issue?
I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
So that
We
should
can
be your
hear you clearly, sir.
that should be your network.
Sir,
Are we good to go now? So that is the conflict of
Yes,
interest. You are a Zenith Bank director and then First Bank director. So definitely, is it even possible that you'll be leaking the secret of one company to another one, especially if you have interest in one than the other? That is what we are talking about when we say conflict of interest among the stakeholders. Now, another thing is the doubtful accounting or creative accounting practices. So most of the time, what we normally have is that sometimes they want to show that they are making more profits. So there's a way they are going to adjust their cost of sales, or even post some invoices that are not yet to be recognized. Or probably they want to reduce their profit. There will be some expenses they are going to post that are meant to be capitalized. So they will just post it into what? Into expenses. So that the higher the cost, the lower the profit. So depending on what they want to achieve. And then we have the next one is unethical business commercial practices. So when you talk about this, probably maybe you are an accountant in a particular company, and your company wants to buy some materials, and your wife happens to be, or maybe your wife is also selling that kind of material. So what you just do is that you just link the company to your wife. Your wife is supplying the company, and you did not disclose it to the company that my wife is the one supplying this material. That is unethical business and commercial practice. That is, you are indirectly, okay, awarding the contract to your spouse. Then the last one is inappropriate pressure to achieve a reported what? Result. This one is common between the director, the supervisor, and the what? And the followers, or the subordinates, or the person that is working with them. So they want to achieve probably the audit. You have one audit. The audit is supposed to take 2 weeks. Okay, it's supposed to take 2 weeks normally, but because you need money, you want the money to come in very quickly, you start putting pressure on the people. Oh yeah, I want this report to happen today. I want this report within 1 week. You have to finish it. These people will not be able to do the necessary and thorough work that they're supposed to do. And from there, you are putting unnecessary pressure on them so that you can achieve your results. Okay, so I don't want us to flog this precinct too long. I don't want to use more than 1 hour, maximum 1 hour. So you should know that the marks are not awarded for simply restating facts from the case scenario. You cannot just copy and paste. Whatever you have there, you copy it and paste. Whatever you have there, you copy it and paste it in your answer booklet. It's very wrong. It's not allowed. But marks are awarded for demonstrating professional skills and technical competence. Therefore, to succeed, you are required to show sufficient evidence of knowledge of the case. That is why we are here today. I want us to go into that case very well, deep, for you to have that understanding. Then number two, be able to carry out appropriate analysis of the issues involved and suggest feasible solution to the problem identified. You identify the problem, you give solution. Demonstrate ability to make informed judgment on the basis of analysis carried out. So whatever you want to do as your judgment, it must be based on the evidence and calculations of whatever you have done. You cannot calculate MPV. MPV is giving you negative, and you are asking me to, you are advising management to go for the project. Or even if it's giving us negative, what are the reasons? What are the other reasons? Qualitative aspect of the project that you will convince the management to go along with it. You can't just say we should go with this project without giving us a concrete evidence. Okay, and the last one is generate reason, conclusions upon which relevant recommendations are made. That's just it. Give us the reason why you are giving us the recommendation. So omission of any of the above will diminish your chance of success in the examination hall. So you have to be very careful of that. So welcome to the case. The case is Folak Motors Nigeria Limited. So the name of the case is Folak Motors. And here we have 5 exhibits. So definitely they are going to give us like additional 5 exhibits in the unseen. But we don't know what it's going to look like yet. But we can predict at least 2 exhibits for you that is going to be exactly what it should be. Now, exhibit 1 is talking about you, Sylvester Chukwudi, and your employer, Bagudu Ademola and Co. Chartered Accountant. So it means this is an external report. Okay, now let's take it one by one. An external report, what does that mean? So let's start and analyzing the exhibit one by one. Your name is Sylvester Chukwudi. You are a trainee accountant at this particular company. So it's a firm of chartered accountants. So you report directly to Dauda Bagudu. He is a partner in the firm. So what is your role? First, based on the, let me show you. Let's go to exhibit 1. Based on this exhibit 1 you see here, so we want to explain your role. So I've done the summary here. The first thing is that financial analysis and reporting. So they want you to analyze the financial statement given to you. So you are to prepare detailed financial analysis and reports that inform management and client decision. So what are the analyses they want you to do? Number 1, analytical in depth. This goes beyond simple financial statement preparation. It involves trend analysis, ratio interpretation, and performance measurement. Measurement. So it's not just like I can calculate. I know how to calculate gross profit margin. I know how to calculate capital employed. You can know how to calculate, but don't forget, you are explaining all these ratios and trends for good 4 hours. Because that is what you are going to be writing to make your report meaningful. Because that is what you want to report on. So you must know how to calculate and you must know how to what? How to interpret. Okay? We all know the meaning of trend analysis. Trend analysis can be vertical and horizontal. Then when we come back to ratios, we have different types of ratios. we have profitability, we have liquidity, we have efficiency, we have leverage, all those ones. It depends how they are going to ask you in the question. And the performance measurement, when you say performance measurement, it means you are talking about profitability aspect. That is, analyze the income statement and give us what you can see. Then number two is this decision impact. The reports you produce should guide the strategic action, such as the cost control, investment choices, and the operational improvement. So how are they going to reduce the cost? How are they going to choose the best investments to go for? And then how are they going to improve the operation? Then the next one is examine the client financial statement. So you have to identify maybe there's weakness, such as liquidity constraint, maybe there's profitability issue, maybe they have been making losses over the years, and inefficiency that they are having. Then the B part is talking about the evaluation of business proposal. If you look at your responsibility, I've done the analysis, I've summarized everything here. So we'll be going back to the case one after the other like that. So now, evaluation of business proposal. So you are to assess the operational and strategic business proposal. You are to test the financial feasibility of the project, strategic alignment, and the risk exposure. So you want to see, is there anything risk attached to this particular project if they go for it? So what are the things they are expecting you to do? The analysis, competence, the demand and understanding of business models, financial projection, and return on investment. So you must know how to prepare the financial projection, the business model in case they want you to use a strategic like a Prestel, like a SWOT, anything they want you to use. You need to know all these things properly. And they use those models to analyze your project. Now, decision. Evaluation helps clients pursue projects that are financially sound and strategically beneficial. So the next one is the forecast and assumption evaluation. So here you have to evaluate financial forecast and underlying assumption. They are going to give you assumption. They can say revenue will grow by 2%, cost will increase by 5%, to ensure that they are realistic and align with market and operational conditions. You can't just tell me that the revenue will grow by 10% when revenue has never grown for even 3% over the years, looking at your financial statement. And now you are giving projection and assumption, and you are saying that it's going to grow by 10%. How is it going to possible? Okay. Then another thing is the critical thinking. Critical thinking. This cultivates his capacity for professional skepticism and analytical reasoning. So Ican, that is the key thing they want you to see. You must be able to think in the exam and give accurate answer. Judgmental role, ability to form conclusion and make recommendations. Okay, positions him as a trusted analyst within the firm. So you must be able to give the conclusion, make recommendation, position, and everything. So you need all this. Then the next thing is strategic tax planning. From the requirement, you will see that this also is part of your requirement. Okay, you have to look at the strategic tax planning they need to apply, ensuring clients remain compliant while optimizing tax liability, especially because of this tax reform that is going on now. I'm sure they are going to give you something about the tax thing stuff so that you'll be able to put one or two things together and see how they can manage their tax issue. So regulatory awareness, you must know for this particular industry, what is the regulatory awareness they have to know. This requires staying current with involving tax laws and reforms that actually talk about this sector we are talking about. Okay, then advisory strength. Effective tax planning strengthens client relationship by adding measurable financial value and all this. Then the last one, not the least, is the report drafting and communication. So you are to draft a comprehensive and then advisory report for review by your supervisor. So one, you need professional communication because this is an external report. So writing, you have to clear. Your writing must be clear. No, don't go and be writing X and Y together. Calm down and write a good give a good handwriting. By the time they look your handwriting, sometimes examiner can even be angry and say this one don't feel already. So you have to sit down especially when it comes to case study because it's about letter. So sit down, write a good handwriting. Okay, that's one of the things that some people fail. It's not that you're not brilliant, but your handwriting is very, very, very bad. Then concise and evidence-backed report. Develop his ability to communicate complex financial insight in accessible language. You must be able to give at least when you are talking, let them know that you are an accountant. You are about to be a chartered accountant. So command figure, explain the ratios, the way professionals are supposed to explain it. Okay? Then accounting and auditing standard. Make sure you are able to give standards that are relevant. Okay, taxation, laws, reforms, all those things. Then sustainability and ESG reporting trend. You must be able to give all these things, especially sustainability. They will test it. So you must know and be ready to give them as it ought or as it's coming. So we are done with summary of Exhibit 1. So let's go to Exhibit 2. What is Exhibit 2 talking about? Exhibit 2 is talking about the Nigerian economy and the service sector. So this particular company, Folak Motors, it is operating in Nigeria economy and is a service sector. We have done agriculture sector, health sector, banking sector, manufacturing sector. But this case study is a service sector. You must understand that. Now, what is the whole exhibit talking about? We have done 1 out of 5 exhibits. So let's go to exhibit 2, the summary. So what is this exhibit talking about? So the Nigeria economy and the service sector. So the thing is that the role of service sector in Nigeria economy. So they are trying to tell us the impacts of the service sector in the economy. So Nigeria, one of Africa's largest economies, is increasingly driven by the service sector, which now contribute over 50% of GDP. This is the summary of what they have said there. So if you look at it, you will see that that's indirectly what they are saying. But I've done the summary of that into this place. So it means over 50% of GDP, then surpassing agriculture and oil. And if you look at it, most of the companies now are service sector. Okay? You are auditing, you are school, most of them, they are service sector. How many manufacturing companies do you have in Nigeria? How many agricultural companies do we have in Nigeria? So the motor repairs, this sector includes trade, those who are buying and selling, okay? Transport is also part of the service sector. ICT, part of service sector. Real estate company, they're also into service sector. Finance, all these banking and whatever, they're also into service sector. And professional services like audit, like accounting, like all this, they are into lawyers, they are into service sector. So the motor repair subsector. So motor repair is a subsector of this particular we are saying, which is Folak Motors is into motor, plays a critical role in sustaining the country's road transport system. So what are the relevance of this sector? 1, economic relevance. It absorbs large segments of the workforce excluded from formal manufacturing and oil sector. Like many people are working in service sector. So they at least employ enough people. That is, they are taking positive impact into the economy. They interlinks. Services such as transport, ICT, and professional consulting drive efficient or efficiency across other economic sectors. So they are the one that is linking every other sector. Is there any company that will not do audit? Is there any company that doesn't need accounting services? Is there any company that doesn't need the ICT? Is there any company that the staff, they will not have a transport that will be taking them from one place to another? So these sectors link all the sectors together. Okay, then there's a growth trend. The sector expansion reflects Nigeria what? Nigeria growing urbanization, consumer demand, and investments in digital infrastructure. Okay, let's move on. What is the other part of this case? The motor repair subsector, strategic importance. The motor repair industry represents the backbone of Nigeria road independent economy, ensuring vehicle operability and transport continuity. It makes the transport to continue, make the movement from one place to another to continue. Nobody can trek from here to Lekki, so you need the transport system. Okay, motor repairs are not merely technical services, but essential economic what? Enablers, supporting trade and logistics across the nation. That is what the case is trying to say. So we need to understand the importance of the sector that we want to give as a case. Okay. Now, what is the third thing we need to know? We need to know how this sector is being structured and the characteristics. So the industry is structured into two: informal dominance. So most operators are small, unregistered, roadside workers or workshop or family-owned garage, offering affordable but inconsistent services. So if you go to your street, there's no how you will not see mechanic, you will not see someone that is selling maybe one part or whatever. You don't need to go to school like that before you come to this industry. Okay. Then the second characteristic is the emerging formalization. So a smaller formal segments, franchise workshop, branded service center caters for newer vehicles and high-end customer, signaling gradual modernization. Now, some people now, they are not doing all this roadside work again. What are they doing? They will partner with Toyota, they will partner with Honda, they will do part assemble, whatever you want to do, you can go to the company. So there are some companies vehicles that they didn't take it to the ordinary mechanic. If the vehicle is faulty, you have to take it back to the manufacturer so that they can diagnose and give the accurate solution to it. There are some vehicles that you cannot just take to roadside mechanic. So that is the two sides in this industry. Now we move on. What are the major challenges about this industry? One is that infrastructure, erratic power supply, poor roads, obsolete equipment increase operational cost and limit efficiency. So power is the issue. Most of them use electricity to do their work. And if the power is not stable in Nigeria, they will also be facing this problem. Not only the power, poor roads, obsolete equipment. When they do, some people have been using that equipment since 10 years, 20 years when they did their graduation, otherwise they call it freedom. And they keep using that equipment. So regulatory, weak or costly regulation create inconsistent service standard and discourage compliance. So any policy or regulation they give to them, it can damage their operation. It can affect them directly. For example, you cannot import vehicle from so place. The tariff is high. That's why when you are going to import a vehicle for, maybe you bought the vehicle $1 and you want to pay tariff of $2. So how much do you think they are going to sell it for you, the consumer that want to buy it? So any policy or whatever policy they are making, it will affect this particular sector. Okay. Then access to finance, because the capital to buy vehicles and then start reselling again is very high. You cannot buy just one vehicle and say you want to start reselling. You can buy like 10, like 5, and then sell, get profit, and then sell again. So to buy one vehicle, you know how much it's going to cost you. So the capital is a bit high, and they need access to loan from bank and different area or credit institution where they can get all this. The next thing is the skills deficiency. Heavy reliance on informal apprenticeship produces uneven skills and limited capacity for handling new vehicles technology. There are some mechanics that they cannot do, or they cannot repair new vehicles that are coming out now. So what they learned when they are doing their own maybe when they are with their boss, maybe they use Volvo, they use Toyota, they use Tortoise. I mean, what is the Tortoise? I mean, what do they call these vehicles? But now we have different vehicles, electric vehicles. So they've not seen it before. If you give it to them, they will spoil your car for you. Okay, because of the skills deficiency. So counterfeit parts, you will see so many of these. You buy tire today, within 1 month, the tire is gone because they are substandard what parts, and this one damages their reputation and also the vehicle safety, because anything can happen on the road. Now, low digital adoption. Most of these people, they don't even know how to use IT. Why some people, once they put machine on your car like this, the machine will diagnose all your problem of the car and then they will repair it. So collectively, this barrier prevents the sector from achieving skills, professionalism, and global competitive. So they are unable to compete as they ought to compete. Now, economic merits. What are the advantage of this particular? There's a job creation. So someone that, instead of this person to be going up and down on the street, you can have access to job opportunity. Entrepreneurship, you can just stand on your own and say, I want to start this business myself. Then multiplier effects, it sustains vehicle mobility, enabling commerce, logistics, and urban connectivity. Okay, what is the growth and transformation opportunity? These people they actually have enough opportunity to tap into, but most of them are yet to see it. And that is where this case will drive you to when you see unseen. You are going to see the opportunity, okay, that they can tap into. So vocational training and certificate, they can be like institution where they will be going, graduate and get certificates. And from there, they will be coming out like you, having your Ican. And anyone that does not have that kind of professional certificate, you will not take your car to that person. You know that this person is not qualified. So that is one way they can tap into, and government can be the one to help them. Then we have finance access. Give them enough access to have loan so that they can buy facility, they can buy new equipment, modernize my equipment to operate properly and to function properly. Infrastructure investment, they need good road, improved road, power supply, stable power supply. Then workshop facility will directly enhance their productivity. Okay, then regulatory reform. Make sure the policy you want to make is in line with these people, so that you will not kill the what? You will not kill the sector. Digitalization, these people need to use ICT. Then these people need to use AI. These people need to use what again? All this new technology we can use. They need to use all this. Then local production, developing local parts. There should be a way. We don't need to be going every time, going to China, going to Israel, go and buy parts, bring the part on. When are we going to start producing all these parts ourselves? They need to tap into this. So government and stakeholders role. What is the roles of government? Governments need to do the clear policies for them. The private sector need to support them, give them innovation, financing, skill development. Then we need industry association, facilitate self-regulatory regulation, advocacy, professional certification. Give it to them. Let them have all these certificates. Even if they did not go to, at least they are not writing exam, they are not writing a calculation, they are not doing any calculation. All they want to do is that teach them how to repair different cars. And before they graduate, they are going to do the practical, and make sure they are able to do that, and so on. Then they can do partnership. What do you mean by partnership? You can partner with Honda, you can partner with Toyota, you can partner with all these big companies that have good brand, and then from there they'll be able to give them what they want. Okay, now let's go to exhibit 3. Don't ask question now. Keep all your questions, jot it down. I'm going to attend to all the questions. So I'm trying to move fast because I don't want this section to be more than 1 hour. I want to stay within that time. Okay, so this next exhibit, there are just 5 exhibits. You have done 2, so this is third one. So exhibit 3 is talking about analysis of motor vehicle sales and distribution in Nigeria. So we want to look at how the sales and distribution of vehicles in Nigeria. And this is the sector that Folak Motors is currently operating. Now, the market remains import dependent. Nobody, the percentage of imports to what we are producing, though we have started trying to produce some vehicles now, but the percentage is very high. About 80% are imported, Tokumbo cars, and dominating over 80% of total annual sales. So if you go back to the case, this thing are there. I have only done the summary here. Why new vehicle account for roughly about 10 to 15% due to high prices. Who want to buy all this new vehicle now? New vehicle that you are going to buy like a 15 million. You can buy it as Tokumbo, you can buy it like 5 million. So are you not going to keep the remaining one and then use it for something else? Okay, so forest scarcity and tariffs, they are very high. So actually affect the new vehicles. So nobody is buying new vehicle except all those top class. Although local assembly is growing. So there are some companies that are now assembling locally, okay, and still contribute a minor share due to high production costs and weak infrastructure. By 2025, based according to that case, total annual vehicle sales are projected to around 320,000 units, driven by population growth, gradual economic recovery, and digital transformation in distribution and finance. Meanwhile, opportunity lies in digitalization, auto financing, local assembly expansion, EV adoption, that is electric vehicles, okay, adoption, and after-sales market growth. That is, what do you mean by after-sales market growth? That is, once you sell to car to you now, we'll be the one to service, we'll be the one to be providing the services for it, so that nobody will not just come and spoil your car for you. So we'll maintain it for you. That is after-sales market growth. So the sector future success depend on policy consistency, infrastructure investment, financial innovation, and capacity development. Okay, so what is the market structure and performance? So the Nigeria motor vehicle market is import dominated. If you go to all these vehicles where they are selling, they are all imported with limited domestic production. So used vehicles are over 80% of sales, and they are mainly from US, Europe, and Asia. Then new vehicles constrained by high costs, because of the cost is too high, nobody will buy, and limited financing. Purchased mainly by government agencies and corporates. So it's only government that all these our top what do you call them, government officials that won't buy all these new vehicles, and then the corporates and all these our celebrity and so on. Some of them maybe they can buy the new vehicle as well. So that is another section. Another section is local assembly. That's why the Nigeria automotive whatever, this one is very minimal in the market. So what is the distribution channel of this motor vehicles, while we have authorized dealerships. These people, they are international brands. So if you want to buy any car, you go to their companies, you buy, you go. We have Toyota in this Nigeria. We have Toyota company in Nigeria. We have Honda in Nigeria. It's not that the Honda from their own USA or whatever, they come to Nigeria and come and stay here. No, it's just like a what? Authorized dealership. So they are authorized. They are acting under brand or franchise. Okay. So independent dealers. This one, we have so many of them. They dominate the used vehicle market, operating largely in the informal sector. You want to buy car now, you just go to your street, you will see they will put for sale. If you want to buy car, you will see someone. So there are many. If you need a car now, you don't need to go to the company to go and buy. Someone is already here. They can just call the person, they negotiate. They will send you. Even some people will be going up and down from one street to another and go and look for car for you. Within 1 week, they will get a car for you. You get a car. So those are the people that independent dealer. We have also online platform where you can buy car. We have GG. We have others where you can just log in and see, this is the vehicle I want to buy, and that's fine. Okay. What are the major challenges in this distribution of motor vehicle sales? Don't forget, this is where Folak's motor vehicle operates. This is where it operates currently. Okay. Now, the challenge is one, forex scarcity and currency depreciation. Because the naira is depreciating, then it's affecting them. Because all these motor vehicles they are importing, they are in dollars, and that is actually affecting them. Then we also have high import tariffs, because the tariffs they are going to pay to the customs at the border is very high. So it's also affecting them. That's another challenge. Then weak local manufacturing, because there's nowhere they are manufacturing, there's no good equipment currently now that they can manufacture good cars for us to be using. We don't need to be going to abroad to go and buy a car. So that is another challenge. It's also another challenge. Another challenge is smuggling and informal imports. These people go to like border, you will see the way they are smuggling all these vehicles, and if you see the way they are driving rough and all these things. So undermine official dealers. Those who are supposed to be selling that are brand, they are franchise, they will not be able to sell because will prefer to buy at lower cost and good car. They are actually good. So why will I need to be wasting my money and go and buy other things? So just need to do some repair and you are good to go. Then poor infrastructure and insecurity. Because of the insecurity, logistic problems and distribution. Now, we also need to look at the other part. So we also need to look at the other parts in this particular case. Okay, so that is fine now. Let's go to the area that we need to take note of. Is the competitive landscape. Now we have started going deep now. I will not too go deep today, but on Saturday you will see the best of this. So I will just do the normal analysis today. Now, just to introduce ourselves so that I will not overload you. Now, competitive landscape. Let's look at this competitive aspect. So the market features both indigenous and foreign owned business. So this sector, we have it in three ways. One is that we have new vehicles, and the new vehicles we are talking about is Toyota, Kia, Honda, Mercedes, Benz, and the like. Then we also have another one, used vehicles. So they are independent importers. Then we also have hybrid dealers. These people, they do both the new vehicles and used vehicles. And that is where exactly where Folak Motors, that is where it's hiding. That is where it's operating. So you must know the case and where it is. So the case you are studying, this is where it operates. So the competition is shaped by brand reputation, pricing, after-sales support, and financing option. Now let's look at it. So the competitive advantage is that dominated by indigenous players. So all of us, they are indigenous. Then large companies like Folak Limited, they have opportunity. They are already in the vehicle sales, but they are not into after-sales services. They are not repairing. They are only buying either new vehicles or old vehicle or used vehicle and resell it to people. They are not doing anything about service. I believe you know where I'm going to. Don't worry. I will tell you later. Then, now, the next one is franchise network. We have Motors, Toyota, and Strength. So what does that mean is that you can actually hide or partner with a Toyota, Honda, and then you'll be acting as if they have branch in Nigeria and you do that. So what is the best model we can use to analyze the competitive of this particular industry? We can use a suitable one is the Porter's 5 forces model. So the entrance of this company is moderate and not too high. So entry barrier with capital investments in showrooms and inventory is significant. You cannot just say, I want to be like a Folak Nigeria Limited, though. I want to start selling car today. Where you want to see the money, you have to get the money very well to buy enough car to put them on showroom. Do you understand? So the market import-driven nature makes entry relatively easy for well-financed entrepreneurs and auto. So you need high finance before you can run into this. So it's a bit moderate high because Folak is only into sales of the vehicles. Now, the bargain power of suppliers. So dealers rely heavily on manufacturers abroad for vehicle supply and spare parts. They are not manufacturing themselves. So if the manufacturer refuses to sell to them, the problem comes. So there is bargaining power of suppliers. And this is a bit moderate because this depends on local dealers' ability to negotiate price or terms. Then we also have what we call bargaining power of buyers. It's very high. So everybody is sensitive of the price. So most Nigeria buyers are cost conscious, particularly in the use of vehicles, Tokumbo segment, forcing dealers to compete aggressively on price. You can't just give me 5 million, come and buy. People will not buy. They will price until you get, if you are not ready to sell, they will go and look for another one and they will get a car. So you can't just give me outrageous price and expect me to buy it. So there is a bargaining power of buyers. Then the next one is threat of a substitute. It's also moderate high. I can decide not to buy car. If I don't get car, wait, is it by force I get car? If I want to go to any occasion, I will order Uber. I will use InDrive. I will use both. Both of us will drive into that occasion. They will think we both is our car. They will even thought if you will drive in as if you are the owner, you driving. Me, I will use driver. I will sit at the back as if I'm the owner of the vehicle. I can rent. There's one of our colleagues that is doing renting of the vehicles. I can use a Lexus. I can use big car into occasion. Nobody will know that I'm not the owner of the car. So there's a substitute in this industry. Then industry rivalry, yes, numerous competitors. The market holds both foreign owned dealers. We also have our own developed dealers. So we have no issue with that. So let's move very fast. Market structure and drivers. So over 80% of these are Tokumbo. I think I want to move fast now because of my time. So motor repairs workshop, service center, spare parts, all this. So we have market dynamics. So we have informal workshop, dominate, all these roadside and whatever that are offering cheaper and whatever, they dominate over 80%, like 70 to 80% of them have the market share. How many institute or a shop you are going to see that they are using ICT, they are big, you are going to do it online, there are not many. Average Nigeria, when your vehicle is 40, you will call a mechanic. Is either you even come to and do it at home, or you pack it, or you take it to their shop, they do it for you. So average Nigeria, that is what we do. Even the rich people do, that's what they do. So it's only companies, corporates, and all these government officials that will take your vehicle to companies, they'll do it for you when it's faulty. So the skill gap, that is another thing. Okay. Now, service center, adoption of technology, spare parts. We can leave all this one for now until we meet on Saturday when we have a draft report. So key challenges. What are the challenges of this selling of vehicles and distribution? This is the section we are now, and this is where our case and focus should be. Now, we have counterfeit parts, skill gap, imports dependency. They depend heavily on that. Then we have weak regulations. Okay, and that is all. Now, this is our focus area on Saturday. Okay, focus area on Saturday. These people have opportunity, and the opportunity is this: training and certification. They can decide to say, okay, there's going to be something like training and certification. There's going to be something like digital transformation. There's going to be localization. There's going to be partnership. What I mean is that, let me just try to explain that. When you look at your requirements is coming from these 4 areas. Whatever they want to ask you about your requirement, these 4 areas, it won't go beyond these 4 areas. It's either these Folaks want to train their staff and then get certificates and start that program, or they want to go into digital transformation where people can start buying their vehicles online, or they want to be making parts by themselves. They want to be manufacturing parts in Nigeria by themselves, or they want to partner with all these brand companies like Toyota, Honda, and the like. Those are the 4 areas. So I'm going to be explaining and picking one that is likely to be the answer on Saturday. Now, partnership, okay, sustainability, addressing counterfeit parts. That is where the sustainability aspect is coming. So addressing counterfeit parts and regulatory enforcement will be crucial for industry credibility. Don't forget, not only sustainability, ethical issue is also coming from here. You must identify at least 5 ethical issues. Put 2 under executive, put 3 under your normal report. So you should be able to identify ethical issues. Based on this, I've already given you hints on how to get the ethical issue. So let's go to the last part of the case. And the last part, I've done exhibit 1 and I've done exhibit 4. So the last exhibit, but not the least, is okay, let me go back to that exhibit 4 before we go to, okay, this is exhibit 4 now. So exhibit 4 is talking about analysis of motor repairs, service center, and spare parts in Nigeria. Don't forget, Folak Nigeria Limited is not operating in this exhibit 4. Folak Nigeria Limited is only operating in exhibit what? Exhibit 3. So exhibit 4 is the opportunity for them now. Motor repairs, service center, and spare parts sales in Nigeria. I will not say more than that. So let's go to the exhibit 5. We've looked at the opportunity already. That is exhibit 4. So let's look at exhibit 5. This is financial statement. What is it all about? So let's go to exhibit 4. So exhibit 4 is actually talking about the financial overview, analysis overview. And based on Folak Motors record we have, it's a moderate increase in revenue between 2023 and 2024. And then indicating business growth. There's a growth because from 1.76 billion to 1.8, of course, there's a 5% growth. Okay. However, profitability weakened slightly at this operating level due to high cost and rising operating expenses. So the operating expenses is getting high and the cost is also getting high. While net income increased by 36%, that is from 43.3 to 58.9. So this was largely aided by tax benefits in 2023 and lower interest costs in 2024 rather than stronger core operation. So we are going to do all this analysis on Sunday. I will have done the calculations, do the ratios, prepare the draft report. I will just come on Saturday by 4 p.m. together like this, but it's not free. It's going to be a paid class. Then we will analyze the figures, we explain, we predict, and then you just go, you ask as many questions as you want to clarify and then have a clear vision. Then you practice before the exam. There was someone that even watched ordinary, just only this video last diet, and the person got about 56 or something, just watching our pre-scene like this free pre-scene. And the person did not go to, and he got 50 something, but you still need to get more information. There's still more information that you are yet to, because of time constraint, that I'm yet to deliver here. So now let's go. The company asset base expanded by about 119 million, that is 4% growth, funded mainly by the increases in what? In long-term debt. So these people are actually making sense. They are getting long-term debt to increase the asset base. Perfectly. That's how it should be. So liquidity remained relatively stable, though cash holding dipped slightly. So they are holding too much of cash. So you can't go and borrow from bank and holding that cash in your bank. What does that mean? You borrow and you keep it in the bank. Are you serious at all? Borrow money, use it to invest. That is what it means for. It's not to keep it in so that people will know that you have money in the bank account. No. You borrow 1 billion, use the 1 billion to do investment that will last for like many years, that will bring in the return from that investment. That's how to run business. Okay. Now, overall financial position outlook. We look at the stable revenue growth, but high leverage ratio. Okay. Lower finance costs and improved tax compliance. Then decline cash position and rising receivable. Receivable keep increasing. Is it that you are selling on credit, you are not collecting money from them? Then expanding asset base and positive retained earning. Asset is increasing and retained earning keep giving us positive. That's a kudos, that's a strength. But the weakness here is that rising other losses and cost pressure on margin. The costs keep increasing and it's giving us concern. So overall, Folak Motors appears financially stable, but moderately leveraged. That is, they depend more on loan and debt, but they are using that loan to invest in capital expenditure. Making sense, but it's like they are focusing more on debt, with profitability improve, driven more by financing and tax movement than operational efficiency. So, people of God, what are we expecting on this day? Let's come back now. So I'm done. I said I want to use 1 hour, and I think I was able to manage my time. So what are we expecting? We are expecting on seeing maybe 5 more exhibits that we'll be talking about. So we are going to be doing that on Saturday, and we'll predict and write our reports. So the floor is open for question now. People, you can unmute your mic, you can drop message, you can unmute, but it's better you unmute, ask your question, clarify what you want to clarify before we close for today and meet on Saturday. So I'm with you. Anybody with question?
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, sir. So my question is, last diet, I wrote a case study,
Okay.
but I got 24. So
Okay.
there's something that's not really clear. So I want to ask this, the financial statement that is given here. I know that we can calculate various ratios here. is there a specific ratio that we must limit our analysis to, or we just calculate all the ratios that is available when someone is adding the financial statement?
Okay, that's a good question, and I always say this in the class as well. See, this financial analysis, this financial statement they gave you in this precinct is just a boju financial statement. So don't say because I've seen different calculation of this financial statement, I'll just go and copy and paste it in the exam. No, whatever they want you to do will be in the requirements. Sometimes they will say you are to analyze or whatever of, they will tell you they can give you another two companies. So if they give you another two companies, means whatever you have there is useless. In some question, they will say they will give you this information like this financial statement like this, but when you get to the exam hall, they will give you about Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. They will give you in the section. You have to analyze whatever of the regional, of the branch. They can give you products. It can be two products that we have two products. We have Toyota and Honda. They will give you information of that information. They will not say analyze which of the product is performing better or whatever. Okay, so it means on that day you don't need this information again. Your focus will be on that. So in the requirements, there will always be direction, and we are going to look at all this analysis, different area they can come, and how you are going to do the analysis on Saturday because of time. So the requirements, go to requirements. That instruction, direction will be there on what next to do. In some cases, they will list the ratios to do, to calculate for you. They will say using profitability ratio, using efficiency ratio, using they will give you like that. So you should know that under profitability, we have net profit margin, we have gross profit margin, we have capital employed. Under efficiency, we have inventory turnover, inventory period, we have receivable period, we have payable period. Under leverage, you will be the one to determine. While in some question, they will give you the particular ratios to calculate. So all these things are there in the requirements. So I believe I've been able to answer your question. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah,
Good evening, sir.
Okay, my own question is, during that exam period, maybe while we are writing the exam, are there any specific way? Maybe if you are writing your introduction and our introduction must accommodate both the requirement 1 and requirement 2. In such a way, can we give space for introduction? Maybe after introduction, we move to other executive summary, we just give space, or we can use a particular number of page. Maybe we exhaust a particular number of page for a particular subhead. We can move to another page for another subhead. Is it appropriate to do that when
I think what you need is just to see my sample, my report sample. If you can see my report sample, you will be fine to go. But however, the introduction, you have different type of report all over. There's no really is a approved report, approved sample by Ican. Okay, yeah. But my own report consistently for over how many diets now? Our students have been passing. We have students that are getting 70 using both internal report and external reports. So it means my format is okay. So if I tell you that this is how you're going to write it now, it might be different from what you know before. But my own format is what we have been using over the years, and we're having good results.
Okay, what I'm trying to buttress is not about the format. You understand? Let's say like the paging, during the exam period, you might not know, you might not have at the back of your mind, okay, I might decide to say, okay, let me use 2 page for introduction. At the end of the day, my 2 page might not be enough for me for introduction. So to be on the safer side, at times you can just leave, okay, let me use 3 page for introduction. You move to another executive summary, let me use this for executive summary. During the exam period, there's pressure. So definitely requirement 2, that's the unseen, is also there for you to incorporate your information. We are all familiar with this pre-seen now. So you can quickly put on your pre-seen information. But the unseen, you just need to give a space so that you can squeeze in your unseen information to your introduction. With the introduction, it is still incomplete if you do not have your requirement, the unseen aspect incorporated into your introduction for your unseen.
I understand what you are saying, but if you want to write a report, you need to start with cover page, executive
Yeah, I
summary.
understand. Yes.
After executive summary, you go to that introductory you are talking about, then appendix. You understand? So I understand what you are saying, but the way you are saying it might be different from my own. So for me, I will start with executive summary. And my executive summary should not be more than up to 2 pages itself. That's the maximum. And then every other thing I want to write is under the introduction you are talking about, which is the main body of report. So that's why I said you need to see my format, and then you will know the way I've arranged the report. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So any
Okay,
other?
so
Okay.
yes, I have. So you made mention of from the unseen, more exhibits will be included in the question for us. So I want
Yeah.
to ask, what will change? Like the same way you analyze this exhibit in precinct, is that the same way we are going to be looking at those extra exhibit that they provided in the unseen, so as to um relate it to our question? Like what will change from what they have provided, the extra exhibit that they have provided for us?
So from this pre-scene you have seen now, nothing will change. Even one exhibit will not change. The only thing is that it will be like a continuation. It's like continuation. It's like you have watched season 1, season 2, season 3. Season 4 and 5 will be the concluding part. Do you understand now? So now, when you get to the exam or now, when you see on scene, you will see requirements, the calculations of requirement. Okay, maybe investment appraiser, maybe CVP, maybe whatever. They will give additional information on that. They will give you more information. You can see that here they did not give you the information about the company. When the company was established, the board of directors, you have to be careful about that. How to analyze the board, the directors. Nothing is given like that. So they can give you that in the next. They can give you the proposal on how they are going to borrow money. So it's going to be exhibit by exhibit. But what you need in the pre-scene, okay, all the calculation you need to do, they will give you those exhibits in the exam. So that will make the case complete so that you'll be able to do the calculations, you'll be able to do the ratios analysis, and then start writing your report. But nothing will change in what we have done so far tonight on the pre-scene analysis. Is that clear now?
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
My question is, which area of the exhibits are we going to scout for the professional skepticisms? You actually mentioned it too, that skepticisms, but which of the exhibits are we going to look out for those areas that we can add into our report? Thank you.
In fact, all your exhibits should be part of your report because each exhibit will have vital information. All your exhibits, they have different information, and all this different information are needed in your report. In fact, ability to recognize necessary information and presenting it in your report is an added advantage for you. Even though they not ask you to write it, you cannot see it directly from the requirement. But for them to have given you those information, it means they want you to make use of them. Okay, it might not be too much, but at least they want you to chip it in one way or the other. In one way or the other. So you will see more analysis of that on Saturday. We are going to take one, maybe last year case, then you will see how we can bring this particular exhibit, add it to this exhibit, present it this way, and then you are able to, but the thing is that don't copy and paste. Copy and paste is not allowed. Direct copy and paste, no, it's not allowed. But all exhibits are vital. They are vital. There's no exhibits to ignore. if I'm to say that. Okay. Any other question? Are we good?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
So, for the executive summary, you made mention earlier that we might get to the exam hall and then probably see another financial statement that is directing us to another thing entirely. So, is our executive summary going to be based on the new financial statement provided during exam or based on the one we are seeing now?
Based on the requirements. Your executive summary and all your reports is going to be based on your requirements. So if, for example, they give you these 2 years now, another thing about the ethical issue of this thing is that if you look at the top of the financial statement here, let me show you. If you look at the top of this financial statement here, there's something they put there. They said for Folak's motor vehicle on audited summary 2026. And you know that when they audit a particular account, there's going to be likely changes in the financial statement. They may give you something like this. Okay, they have given us something, but it's unaudited. In the exam now, they will not give you additional information. It's possible. They will just say, now, Folak Limited has invited you, whatever, and the following are what you have identified during the audit process. Do you understand? They will not say inventory was not valued at so price. This was obsolete and damaged. This one is not revenue. The invoice was this. From this receivable, 150 million was bad debt or on doubtful receivable. You must know. You now go back to your SBR and financial reporting. How am I going to treat all these transactions? We need to adjust them based on the normal accounting process. Then once you adjust them, this financial statement you are seeing now will now change. Then you will have a new financial statement after the adjustment. You will now start analyzing that particular one after the adjustment. So they can come in different. We are going to look at all these different ways on Saturday. So they can bring it in different ways. They can, because it's unaudited, they can now say these are the following, after the audited account, these are the following information. Do you understand? That was observed during the audit. They will now start giving you information. They will start giving you information. You will now start to work on it, adjust it to meet up with the audited account before you will now analyze it. So this is even one ethical issue now. This is an audited financial statement, and they should not put so much reliance on this type of financial, because we can see so many creative accounting, like the ethical issues I mentioned in the first place. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. Any other question?
Sir, if we are told to adjust this financial statement and we start analyzing it, is it going to come as an appendix, or we just do it in our head, then start
No,
using the right method for the
it will come in appendix. So it will come in appendix. It can come as appendix 7. They will not give you journals, different adjustments. You need to adjust it. Then that is if you comes in form of appendix. Everything you want to do must be in appendix. So don't do anything from your head. It's based on instruction and requirements. Are you good now?
Okay, sir, thank you.
All right. Any other question? Are we good?
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, thank you for today's class. My own question is this: just like what you did initially, you know that you broke down those exhibits one by one. So in the exam hall, is it possible for us to do the same thing, like breaking down the exhibit 1, exhibit 2, exhibit 3, before we now do the executive summary and the rest?
No, don't break it down. No. You just need to see a draft report. See, once you see the draft report, you will know how to move. All these exhibits will form sub-ed. If you look at past question, they will say unable to have appropriate sub-ed. So all these exhibits will be what you form sub-ed in your report, and you'll be able to form the information. So you are not breaking down any. I'm only using this to analyze. But when it comes to your report, all this will now form sub-ed, sub-ed, sub-ed in your report. So this makes your work neat and then easy to understand by the examiners. Is that clear now? Do you understand what I said? Okay, I believe it's clear. Maybe network.
Yes, thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
All right. So any other question? Are we all good now? So we can call it a day and meet on Saturday, right?
So is it tomorrow or next week Saturday?
This 15th of November. That's what we are
Okay,
going to.
thank
So
you.
by then, not this tomorrow, but next week Saturday. So when we have enough time to do the analysis, draft the report, and you come with all your questions. So you just chat this my number on WhatsApp, and we are good to go together. Any other thing? All right. So let's keep. I can also add it to our WhatsApp group
So what is the time
where we
frame
can
for
be
next week
communicating. You can
Saturday?
ask questions. You can as many as you want. Yes. Any other questions so fast?
What is the time frame for next week Saturday?
It will be 4 p.m. We'll do it 4 p.m. by 4 p.m.
4 p.m. to when?
Let's say like 6:30. It won't take much time. I will have done all the calculations and all the reports. So we are only coming there to review, to ask questions, so that you can just go and sit down and practice. Practice now we now make it perfect. So just to practice. So we just need to come, analyze, tell you, and then you are good to go. And you are going to see a best report, where we are getting like we are having people scoring 70, 78, and so on like that. So you just need to study. Once you get the report, you need to sit down, study it, master it, practice before the exam. Then you are good to go. Are we good? Let's call it a day, right? All right.
Thank you so much for today's class.
All right. Thank you very much. And I wish you good luck. Best of luck.
Next, sir.
All right. Thank you.